Have you ever felt like you're trying really hard in life, but things still don't move forward the way you want? Maybe you try different jobs, projects, or goals, but something always feels slightly off. Not because you're lazy, not because you're incapable, but because you may not truly know yourself yet. One of the most powerful things you can ever do is discover your strengths and weaknesses. And once you do, life becomes much clearer. In this video, we'll explore how to identify your real strengths and weaknesses, and why knowing them can completely change your life. Most people go through life without really understanding who they are. They follow expectations from parents, school, society, social media. They choose careers because they seem safe. They chase goals because others admire them. But deep down, they never stop to ask, what am I naturally good at? And where do I struggle? Without this awareness, people spend years trying to become someone they're not. And that creates frustration, because success doesn't come from becoming someone else. It comes from leaning into who you already are. Your strengths are not random. They are clues to what your mind, personality, and energy are naturally designed for. When you work within your strengths, things feel easier, progress happens faster, confidence grows naturally. Think about people who seem naturally talented. Often, they simply discovered their strengths early and kept building on them. For example, someone who is naturally curious may become a researcher. Someone who understands emotions deeply may become a therapist or writer. Someone who sees patterns easily may excel in business or investing. Your strengths are like your personal compass. They point you toward the places where you will thrive. Your strengths are not random. They are clues to what your mind, personality, and energy are naturally designed for. When you work within your strengths, things feel easier, progress happens faster, confidence grows naturally. Think about people who seem naturally talented. Often, they simply discovered their strengths early and kept building on them. For example, someone who is naturally curious may become a researcher. Someone who understands emotions deeply may become a therapist or writer. Someone who sees patterns easily may excel in business or investing. Your strengths are like your personal compass. They point you toward the places where you will thrive. So how do you actually find your strengths? Here are a few simple questions that reveal a lot. Ask yourself, what activities make time disappear for me? When you're using your strengths, you often enter what psychologists call a flow state. You become focused, energized, and fully engaged. Another powerful question is, what do people often compliment me on? Sometimes others see our strengths before we do. Maybe people say, you explain things clearly. You understand emotions deeply. You are creative. You analyze problems well. These patterns are clues. Your strengths often appear in the things that feel natural to you. Weaknesses usually reveal themselves through patterns. Think about moments where you repeatedly struggle. Ask yourself, what tasks drain my energy quickly? What situations make me anxious or overwhelmed? Where do I procrastinate the most? These areas often point to weaknesses or skills that don't align with your natural tendencies. And that's okay. No one is strong at everything. Even highly successful people succeed because they focus on their strengths and delegate their weaknesses. One of the biggest mistakes people make is trying to fix every weakness. Imagine a person who is naturally creative but struggles with strict routines. Instead of forcing themselves into rigid structures forever, they might succeed more in environments that allow flexibility and innovation. The goal is not to become perfect. The goal is to become aligned. Alignment happens when your work, habits, and environment match your strengths. When you clearly understand your strengths and weaknesses, something powerful happens. You stop comparing yourself to others. You stop chasing paths that don't belong to you. And instead, you begin building a life that fits who you are. Decisions become easier, confidence becomes stronger, and your energy goes toward things that actually move your life forward. Self-awareness is one of the greatest advantages anyone can have, because once you understand yourself, you can design a life that works with you instead of against you. So take some time to reflect. Ask yourself, what am I naturally good at? Where do I struggle? And where do I feel most alive? Your strengths are not accidents. They are signals pointing you toward the life you're meant to build. The more you understand them, the more powerful your path becomes. If this video helped you think differently about yourself, consider subscribing for more content about psychology, healing, and personal growth. And in the comments, tell me, what is one strength you believe you have? Sometimes, simply naming it is the first step to unlocking your potential.